Good day, everyone, and welcome to my presentation. I am Angelus Fernandez, a second year college student taking Bachelor of Secondary Education major in English. So today we're going to discuss about the Pooh-pooh Hypothesis. So the Pooh-pooh Hypothesis holds that the first words came from involuntary exclamations of dislike, hunger, pain, or pleasure, eventually leading to the expression of more developed ideas and emotions. In this case, the first word would have been an involuntary ha ha ha, wah wah wah, which began to be used to name the actions that cause these sounds. So the poo-poo hypothesis suggests that the first words spoken by humans came from natural sounds people made when they felt emotions like surprise, pain, happiness, or sadness. So for examples, ha ha ha, which means laughter or happiness. When someone laughed, they made a ha 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 sound. Wah 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 are crying or distressed, so when someone cried, they made a wah 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 sound. Ouch or pain, so when someone got hurt, they said ouch as a feeling of pain. So, over time, people stated to connect these sounds to the actions or feelings that cause them. For example, ha 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 could become associated with laughter or happiness, and wah 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 with crying or distress. So basically, this theory says that language started from emotional expressions and grow into meaningful words on humans develop. So basically, how language might have started from emotional sounds. So, how it works. First, early humans made natural sounds when expressing emotions. So, for example, they might shout or cry out when they're hurt, scared, or happy. These sounds were not planned, just natural reactions. Second, these sounds became associated with actions or feelings. So, over time, people started recognizing that certain sounds matched certain emotions like ow for pain or haha for laughter. And lastly, over time, people began using them intentionally to communicate. So instead of being random, they started using them intentionally to express meaning. So, for example, a caveman says ow when hurt. Others understand that means pain. So eventually, such sounds became the first steps toward real words and human language. So it explains that different languages express the same emotions using different exclamations. So showing how emotional sounds are influenced by language and culture, not just human instinct. We have the problem with the hypothesis. So first, emotional exclamation are a small part of any languages. So this means that words like ouch, wow, or ayo only make up a tiny portion of how we actually communicate. Second, they are language specific different sounds for the same emotion. So this shows that emotional sounds are learned and depend on culture and language, not purely instinctive. Third, exclamations reflect the phonology or sound system of each language. So the way these emotional words sound is shaped by the sound patterns of each language. And lastly, true human language involves symbols and meaning, not just sounds. So real language uses symbols or words that represent ideas or meanings, not only emotional noises. So this slide argue that the poo-poo hypothesis is too simple. While emotional sounds exist, they cannot fully explain how complex human language developed, because true language is based on symbols, meaning, and grammar, not just sounds of emotions. So now we have the key takeaways or the main summary of everything that discussed about the poo-poo hypothesis. So first, we have the links language to emotion and instinct. So this means the hypothesis correctly points out that language may have started from human emotions or instinctive sounds like laughter, cries, or pain exclamations. Ouch, wow, ah. So second, cannot fully explain how complex language developed. However, this theory has limitations. It only explains emotional sounds, not the creation of words, grammar, or meaning. And lastly, words are symbolic and arbitrary, not just emotional sounds. So, this shows that language is learned cultural and meaningful, not merely instinctive. So, in short, the Pooh hypothesis help us understand that emotion influence the beginnings of language, but it cannot fully explain how humans develop complex communication systems with words, grammar, and abstract meaning. So that will be all for today. I hope you understand our lesson, and I hope you gain more knowledge about the poo-poo hypothesis. So that will be all, and once again, thank you for listening.